Oh, what the fuck? Well, this sucks. There's no other way to put it. I think I have the wrong throttle body. I'm not sure. I'm about to find out. Whenever you're switching a Subaru engine over from cable to drive-by-wire or vice versa, the throttle bodies are different. So you either have to run an adapter or you have to run a, correct manifold, either a drive-by-wire manifold or a drive-by cable manifold. In this case, I was just going to get the adapter and run it that way, but the bolt pattern's different, which leads me to believe that the throttle body that I got was listed incorrectly when I bought it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so this is the drive-by cable. This is our drive-by wire. And this is our adapter. And the way that this kind of sits is they have this little piece screwed out here, and that sits on like that, and that's all fine well and good if it were to fit, which it doesn't. You can see the bolt pattern, those bolt holes do not line up. So I know you're saying, well, how do we know the bolt holes are correct? Well, they do line up. If I can spin it. Right. Ugh. Doing this one-handed is tricky. So they line up over here on this one. So now I have to do one of the things that I had a feeling was going to come eventually. And that is, my poor STI is going to have its throttle body pulled off of it so we can verify fitment. And yeah, I had a feeling I was going to end up disabling that car at one point or another, just for either we needed a part urgently and didn't have it, or something like this would come up where I would need to verify fitment with a known good part. So, but anyway, yeah, let's go disable my perfectly running daily driver. Okay, so I don't know if you saw how oily everything is. It's pretty bad. So that poor car, she needs some TLC for sure. We're definitely going to be getting to that. But anyway, so here's the STI throttle body. And line this up with the thingy over on. And look at that. It fucking fits. Yeah. So that's what it's supposed to do. The other option at this point would be to buy a... No, you can't. You can't even buy an STI manifold to make that work because the bolt pattern is different. Yeah, because that's got to be the... What would that be? The 08 to... whatever, WRX 14, yeah, 15 they introduced the FA. So yeah, so that'd be an 08 to 14 WRX, the 2.5 EJ255 engine with the plastic intake manifolds. That's got to be a throttle body off one of those, not an STI one. So, all right, back to spending more money. Let's go buy an STI throttle body so we can get that going. Yeah, I guess we're kind of stalled out. I mean, I guess while we're at a stopping point, I might as well address some of the other issues that I've run into that we'll need to fix that you may or may not have noticed depending on your familiarity with these engines. But I'll just show you so you know. So the alternator is missing the actual adjustment. There's an aluminum block with a threaded rod, or bolt rather, that comes down through here, and that actually picks this up to adjust it. Right now, obviously, we don't have that, so I'll need to get one of those. The other thing is I was going to run the oil pressure sensor in here, so I just need to get that installed and make sure. It looks like I kind of wanted to throw the alternator in there to make sure. It looks like we're going to have plenty of room between the alternator and the sensor, so we'll need to mock that up. On the power steering pump bracket, since it also doubles as the tensioner for the alternator, we obviously need it. Looks goofy not having a pump in it. So I'm probably going to go through and try to pretty this up. I'm not going to make my own That'd be just kind of a wasted effort, since this works just fine. But it'll probably end up just cutting this down into a less obviously there's something missing here bracket. Obviously we don't have any fittings on the fuel rail, so we still have a whole fuel system to plumb, so no rush on that yet, but we're getting there. And while I'm here, yes, I have a plan for the PCV system that's actually going to delete these. We'll deal with that in a later episode. So in the factory manifold, it comes with a lot of these vacuum ports for the emission system, various things that it needs to control via vacuum, which we're not going to be using, so I'm going to be going through and deleting these as well, just not right now. There's the PCV itself. That's going to be the drain for the catch can. All this is going away. The coolant, well, these are the heater core lines. I'm still figuring out what I'm going to do with those. We're not going to be running a heater core behind the engine. It's going to be in front of it, so yeah, there'll be some figuring out to do there. We also have like little coolant ports like this guy we got to block up. I don't know if I'm going to be running the coolant tank thing that sits here that this plumbs into, so we might be completely redesigning the cooling system. I'm not sure yet. There's also the matter of the coolant and oil plumbing on the turbo itself. I want to convert all this to AN, so be addressing those as well. For now, I'm probably just going to stick with a factory setup just to get it running. Of course, the oil fill is going to get relocated. I mean, the port will still be there, but I'm going to be running a remote fill up along the upper frame rail of the car, because this sits basically right underneath the harness bar. Not that it can't be done, but it would definitely be a pain in the ass. So we're gonna make that a little bit more friendly. This feels kind of like a waste of an episode, but I guess it goes that way sometimes. Hopefully the parts come in next week and we can get back to rocking and rolling. So until then, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you next time.